Okay, so this is episode 2 in How to Stay Married. So, first of all, my name is Rabbi Weinberg, and I am the author of Kabbalah Love. It's an international course, been televised, over 40 books, as well as an accredited family mediator. And those that want to get in touch, I'll put a link if we could help you personally. So, this is a really fascinating idea. One of the great questions of life is, why do women like men? Okay, as a man, we know that we kind of like women, but why do women like men? So the answer is that it's actually, if you were sitting in second class, wouldn't you like, or economy class as they call it, they don't call it second class, wouldn't you like to hang out with someone in first class? We all like status upgrade. So this is very important to understand. For a woman, to be married is a status upgrade. It's almost like for a guy to understand, it's like, would you like a job? And the answer usually is yes. Why? Because it's a status upgrade. It's not so much often about the money. It's like a prestige. I'm working for a company. Now, the truth be told, is the boss of the company somehow special? No, he just happens to have a company. But it's kind of the aura around the concept. And it's the same exact thing, which is that there's kind of an aura around men and certainly marriage, and therefore it is a status upgrade. Now, it's very important to understand, there's a guy, a researcher, who did research, very good researcher in terms of ape, if you want to call it, societies. And we all know about the alpha male, whether it's in a pack, the alpha male, the leader. But what we don't so much know about is that there's also something called an alpha female. The alpha female is the mother. She's the one that cares for the emotional sensitivity of the tribe. So whereas the father is caring for perhaps the food, the safety, the mother is caring for the emotional safety. And that is equally as important. I once asked my sister, who's quite clever, has a whole bunch of kids, so what's the role of the wife and the mother? She says, taking care of everyone's emotions. The Lubavitcher Rebbe says a man can only really have the confidence in himself from his wife. And we see this very clearly. Men that are married are much more confident than men that are not. So it's important to understand, particularly in our society that has really blurred the roles of men and women, what is it that women want? What is the status upgrade? What is the identity of a wife? And the answer to that is, it's basically a wife. A wife is kind of the nurturer of both the husband, and she understands him. They asked Mrs. Einstein, do you understand the theories of Mr. Einstein? She says, I understand Mr. Einstein. Your wife will understand you better than you'll understand yourself. And she's on your side. Your success is her success. She's on your team. I'm Zevi, so let's call it. She's on Team Zevi. And it's very important for men to understand this, because it's important to step into your role as the leader of the tribe, because that's what the wife wants. She wants you to be a leader. And once you understand that, a good example is Jacob. Jacob was the leader of a tribe, and he took responsibility. He told his crazy father-in-law, listen, it's time I got to work for myself. And his father-in-law was anti him. He takes his wife for a walk, and he says, listen, we've got to get out of here. I see your father is not treating me the same way. And what do his wives say? They say, listen, he never respected us. Basically, you do. We're on your team. We're on your side against their own father. So the point of the matter is, there's a guy that he would train wild horses. Interesting guy. I think he was a little autistic or something. But I have a friend that was a trainer, and unfortunately the way they would do this is they kind of break them in. It's called breaking them in. Not give them enough food, teach them who's the boss. But he did it in a different way. He did it in the way that it really works in nature. He would look at the horse, and basically he would show the horse that he is the leader. And within 45 minutes, the horse, that was a wild horse, that had no it didn't take orders from anyone, would start to follow him. So in episode 2, what we've discussed is the identity of a woman. A woman, a wife, wants to be your supporter. She wants to emotionally care for you. And she's better at it than you ever will be, because that's the gift that women have. Certainly as a mother, that's what she wants. She wants to be able to be the emotional support, particularly if she's a religious woman, a guide, a religious, a spiritual instructor to her children. And she wants you to be the leader. She wants you to lead the pack, lead the family. She wants you to obviously care for her, but she wants you certainly to be the leader, the role model for the children. She wants you to be her role model. So as a husband, you have to understand both these things. Number one, you have to understand, very important, that the wife has an identity. She's not your identity. She has her own identity. And she feels honored and privileged and special to be married to you, believe it or not. And she has an identity as a wife, as a nurturer. She sees your emotions. She's going to try to help you emotionally. As a mother, the same for her children. And you have to have an identity as the leader of the pack. And of course, the leader is not a tyrant. Like Jacob, if you have something to say, you discuss it, you work with mutual agreement, but you understand your role is to lead. If you have any personal needs of mediation, feel free to reach out on the link below. Mediation is very important. It's a very, very good way to help people. All the best.